Over a year ago now, a tornado slammed into the Miscraft Racing Complex, bringing the Miscraft Cup Series season number 8 to a halt, only 2 races into the season. Luckily, there were no injuries, but the track was heavily damaged. But now, heading into 2023, there's been a brand new project to restore the Miscraft Racing Complex in its former glory, and maybe even add some upgrades to the racetrack itself. And we spoke to the CEO of Miscraft and Miscraft DIECAST Racing League on the state of the racetrack.
You know, the renovations here at the Miscraft Racing Complex have truly been something that we are very proud of here at Miscraft DIECAST Racing League and its racetracks. After the cancellation of the second race that was going to be at the Miscraft Racing Complex for season number 8 in the Miscraft Cup Series, we decided that when we were going to be able to get this track up and running again, it had to be the utmost potential of both the track artists and track designers to be sure that all of the drivers that were going to be competing on this racing surface were going to be both challenged and also were going to be able to enjoy the experience on the racetrack. I think the biggest challenge was just repairing the racetrack to a point where it was actually going to be able to run and host a race, because there was a lot of damage to the catch fencing, a lot of the campgrounds as well, and so we had to be able to make sure that we had that together, and also had to make sure that the pavement was also going to be able to hold up to the race cars. So we ran a lot of tests here, especially recently with both the Cup cars and the Truck Series, which they will be the next competitors on the racetrack. So we had to make sure that both of those series were going to be able to sufficiently run and compete on the racetrack before any points races were going to be run. One thing we wanted to do with the Miscraft Racing Complex and its renovation was making sure that the race car drivers weren't going to be able to take advantage of the racetrack or be bitten by the racetrack in any other way. We saw Ross Chastain have a huge crash right next to some track workers, and we also saw Kyle Larson try to rim ride the wall just like Ross Chastain at Martinsville. So we kind of narrowed the turns on the oval, and we also added a little bit more safety precautions there as well for the track workers. So we're happy to report that all of those went together well, and testing so far has been solid in proving that those are very effective. As I mentioned, we've had a lot of testing here recently in the last couple of days, and it's been quite a challenge for the race car drivers. They've seriously had a fun time as well racing on the track. They've been very racy here. We've only had a few cars on track at once, and it's very interesting that we've noticed here for the quarter-mile oval that they aren't running the top side of the racetrack because we did take away part of that high line where the banking is a little bit steeper. So those guys are starting to migrate back down towards the bottom of the racetrack, and it's proven to be a pretty big challenge for those guys because it's kind of turning into a sort of Martinsville race. So I really hope everyone is excited for all the new changes coming to the Miscraft Racing Complex, because I know that I am, and they are getting ready to see some absolutely amazing action here for the Raptor Truck Series coming up in season number 1. I'm very excited to welcome all the fans back to the racetrack here in August for the doubleheader weekend for the Raptor Truck Series. So we are very excited to have all of you here and the race car drivers here. It's going to be an absolutely fun couple of weekends towards the beginning of the season. So I hope you guys are all excited for it, and we're going to have a great time.